Hey, and Whitehead family, Jeff here, but I do appreciate you guys stopping by my enabling codependency and my recovery channel. This is a tough one we're going to talk about tonight. This is going to be a topic that a lot of us struggle with, and that topic, of course, is the line between help and harm. But before we get into that, like I said, like, subscribe, leave a comment, make sure we're all on the same page here together. Let me know that I'm talking about stuff that makes sense to you people. The difference between help and harm, we enablers, we codependents, that line is very, very blurred. We really don't know. I want to give a shout out to our new sponsor, Vandalay Industries. Whenever you say latex, you say Vandalay. Okay, enablers and codependents, we like to think that we are helping when in essence we are actually harming. How could that be, Jeff? Well, I'll tell you. I'm glad you asked the question. The reason why we have this habit of thinking that we're actually helping when in actuality we're harming is because for our whole lives, our loved one, whenever we have helped them, it's been for help. It's been for a good reason. It's been because that's what we're nurturers, we're givers, we're caregivers, whether we're parents, spouses, brothers, sisters. We've helped people with their situation, whatever the situation may be. Help with school, help with a car payment, help with a phone bill, help with homework, help with a difficult situation, help with a relationship issue. Our loved ones, and that's the bond that keeps us together. Our loved ones, we have this bond called love, and that's what keeps us coming back for more. All right, and them too. When you add the component of addiction, okay, that's where things get a little bit muddled. That's where things take on a different perspective. A loved one who's suffering from addiction that we help, we are then inserting ourselves into their lives in a way that we're allowing them to use our help to avoid having to take responsibility or ownership for their own actions. So if you help your loved one who's suffering from addiction or alcoholism, they're both addictions, and bail them out of a tight situation. If you pay their car payment, if you pay their tickets, if you pay their rehab, whatever it's going to be, we feel like our whole lives we've been the helper. But in doing so, if we help someone who has the ability to do that in themselves, who could figure it out themselves if they just put down the rock, if they put down the shovel that they're burying themselves with, in the hole they're sitting in, keep on digging that hole deeper and deeper and deeper. They put the shovel down, they can figure it out themselves. They climb out of the hole and figure it out themselves. The problem is that we've all seen, the longer we keep on providing them the help, we're only giving them harm. We're only harming them, because by giving them assistance or bailing them out, this allows them to not have to figure it out for themselves. And they'll never say no. They're never going to tell you, no, I don't need your help anymore. They're going to keep on taking the help. Now, we may feel for a while that this somehow then makes them feel beholden to us, like they owe us something. We would think that a normal person would think that if you help somebody out, that they'd feel grateful, and they'd feel like they owed you something, or they appreciated it, But unfortunately, when you're dealing with addiction or alcoholism, that's not what you're going to get. So put that expectation away. If you help somebody who's an addict get out of a situation that they were struggling with, and you were their safety net, you may feel good about it for a while, but don't feel for a second that they're going to stop doing what they're doing and go, I don't ever have to do this ever again. Ask this person for help. So I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm going to get better now. I'm going to stop using. I'm going to start drinking. I'm going to stop drinking. There's no, because I did this, you have to do this. That's not how it works. Okay. You can't rationalize or reason with addiction. It doesn't work that way. So the difference between help and harm. Help is when you hold the door open for somebody who's struggling with their groceries. Harm is when you pay your loved one's rent on their apartment who's not working, doesn't want to go off the couch, and you pay their cell phone bill, and you pay for their rent. Well, it's okay. I'm looking for a job. Well, until you get a job, maybe you should stop paying for stuff that you really can't afford right now, like narcotics or marijuana or alcohol. These are luxury items, two of which are illegal. So help versus harm, it's not complicated. Codependence, harm. Enablers, harm. Otherwise, we just be called helpers, but we're not. When you help a addict get something, that's something they get for themselves if they were stopped using, you are now harming. If you help an alcoholic to do something that they could do themselves if they were not under the influence or not sober, then you're harming them. I don't really know how else to say it. That sucks, but it's truth. Addiction's a fickle friend. It will be there and ask you for help. Did you ever have one of those friends that always, whenever you used to take them out for lunch, you meet friends you go out to lunch with, and they never seem to have their wallet with them. They never make a reach for the check. They always have an idea, hey, let's go out to lunch. But you always end up paying. Do you feel like you're helping that person after 2 or 3 times? Or you kind of feel like, hey, I'm being used? Why don't we feel that way when it comes to our loved ones who are asking for help all the time, who are under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Why? It's the same thing. They could do it themselves. They choose not to. They'd rather have somebody else do it for them. Again, it sucks, but it's true. Whenever you pick up a check for somebody, it's nice. It's a nice gesture. It ends up being a habit. That's when you start going, hey, come on now. What's going on here? Well, what's going on here is you're being taken advantage of. And addiction will take advantage of you as well. It will never tell you no. It'll never tell you I'm good. It'll never tell you it's okay, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm just sitting here watch you eat. All right? So help versus harm. If you're helping an addict or an alcoholic with necessities of life, you're harming them because you're not allowing them to hit rock bottom and figure it out on their own. Tough talk. I know it's tough talk. It's not easy to talk about, but it needs to be said. Leave me a comment down here. My idea is not to give advice. I don't give advice. I just speak from experience. Remember, it's Jeff Soretta, BTDT. All right? Keep coming back. It works if you work it. Let it begin with you. By all means, say a prayer for the prayer. Say a prayer for all those people struggling from addiction because they're human beings and they deserve to be prayed for. Okay?